This morning, I think some of you also heard Rick take a truly remarkable action. In public remarks, he took responsibility for the conduct of those facilities and apologized to his fellow veterans and to the American people. And a few minutes ago, Secretary Shinseki offered me his own resignation. With considerable regret, I accepted.
All right, folks, there you have it, as we've been alluding to. And joining us now is our friend Congressman Tim Muehlskamp, a member of the House Veterans Affairs Committee. Hello, Congressman. Great to talk to you again, sir.
Good afternoon, Steve. All
right, your reaction to the accepted resignation.
Regret? I mean, it's about time that at least one head would roll, but we've got secret waiting lists at nearly every VA facility. We have veterans dead as a result because of the secretary or former secretary's failure, and President Obama reluctantly accepts his resignation and gives him a verbal Presidential Medal of Honor. It's shocking, outrageous, but this scandal typifies what is replicated, I believe, across the entire administration, a culture of non-accountability and incompetence. We see this at the VA. We've seen it obviously as well in the Obamacare failed rollout, the IRS scandal, Benghazi, take your pick. It's non-accountability and incompetence. It's good to see him go. We've got some real solutions to fix this problem, but I don't know, after 10 years, nearly 10 years, nearly a decade of 35 different reports of this failed agency, putting a new person at the head is not going to solve the problem.
I mean, I'm so glad you started with that, because before you came on, I was talking about that. That's the first thing that struck me. Here was his chance. Here was his chance to say, I fired him. He's a good guy, but he wasn't the right man. This has been going on too long. Things have to change. Instead, he just can't take charge. It was his idea. I reluctantly accepted it with regrets. It's because he didn't want to be a distraction. I mean, not because he's not good, not because he should be gone, but I mean, this guy just can't make a decision.
And at least 40 dead veterans. I mean, what do you say to that? Do you think that Shinseki did a pretty good job for them? But you're absolutely right, Steve. It's a culture of unwillingness to accept responsibility, not be accountable, that somehow this is somebody else's fault. It's not the Secretary's fault, certainly not the President's fault. But again, we have 341,000 employees over there, and they're going to blame the guy at the top. But it's an entire culture in the VA, as well as the entire administration, of incompetence and non-accountability. But this VA situation, and I have on my desk 9 years of reports, 35 different reports outlining this particular problem at the VA and numerous others, and they act like they just heard about it. I mean, this was going on. The President knew about it when he served briefly as a U.S. Senator, showed up half the time, of course. Still been going on 6 years later, and somehow it's somebody else's fault. But we're going to get to it. But, you know, what we need at the VA, as we need elsewhere, is we need a truly independent commission outside the VA to come in and tell these 341,000 bureaucrats that veterans come first. We also need veterans to have a choice, a veteran choice program. The President has that authority today that says, you know, veterans, if you don't like the VA, you can go across the street and go to your local hospital.
Right.
Give them that choice. That would solve this problem and provide some competition. But this is socialized medicine at its worst.
Yeah, well, I do want to get to that. Absolutely. Okay, so, you know, what John Boehner said, that one of the first things that has to happen now is the Senate needs to join what the House passed in the Accountability Act. You agree with that?
Yeah, and that's just part of it. That allows whoever the secretary is to fire a few more people.
Yeah, which I can't believe. I think, you know, you and I might have talked about this before. It's because of unions and civil service positions that can't happen now, which is just inconceivable to me.
Well, that would only apply to kind of the top level. A few hundred folks could apply to. But what about the 341,000? What about the one VA bureaucrat who killed his fellow member on the job while he was drunk driving, and the VA hired him back? How about the director of the facility in Pittsburgh? We had 3 veterans die from Legionnaire's disease that was contracted.
And they got a bonus, yeah.
And they got a bonus. You know, at the VA facility in Phoenix, what we can tell, it's hard to get out of the administration, but we believe there's $843,000 worth of bonuses at that facility in the last 2 to 3 years. It's not just the director. This goes all the way through a system and where there's no accountability. It's somebody else's problem. And, oh, by the way, if I don't do well today, somebody else will pick up the load. Veterans are dying because of this approach.
It is outrageous, and I think you have it right. And I think even Gerald Molen, the producer of Schindler's List, who produces Dinesh D'Souza's movies now and documentaries, said, why don't they just give them a card, give a veteran a card, and let him go to any hospital he wants to go to?
And we have a program. It's been operating since 1965. It's called Medicare.
Right.
It's got its problems, but do you realize if you are on Obamacare, you have more choices than a veteran?
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, is this, and here's what I'd love, I always get presumptuous, but I've talked about this with so many guests. Here's what I'd love to see the Republicans do. Not to exploit this, but to tell as a matter of fact, this is us. This is every one of us, maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, once all of us are required because the mandate will finally stop being delayed and will kick in. We're all going to be under Obamacare. And if they're blaming this as they have on, well, Nancy Pelosi said, well, you know, we went to war. Maybe we should think twice before we go to war because now you have all these veterans coming into the system. Well, what do they think is going to happen when we're all on Obamacare?
Yeah, well, I believe this is worse than Obamacare, Steve, because this is what's happened when you get no choice. A veteran doesn't get to choose. He's sent. And in my district, which is a very rural area, he's sometimes sent 200 or 300 miles away, and he drives by dozens of hospitals. In one case, the guy was told, you got to drive 200 miles to get a shingles vaccination that you can get your local pharmacy. Nope, can't do that. VA says you drive 200 miles and we'll get it there. And that's silly. That's incompetence, and it can't happen anymore. In the meantime, you have veterans dying at Phoenix, and we believe that's, again, occurring everywhere because this hearing we had the other night, the bureaucrats admitted every VA facility has a secret waiting list. That's not in the official electronic waiting list. It's the way they scheme and get their extra bonuses. Do veterans know they're on a secret waiting list? We don't know the answer to that. We think it's probably no. But this scandal just deepens further, and it's going to get worse and worse. But again, the system is wrong. We need to give veterans a choice. The president has that authority. They admitted it 2 nights ago. Yes, we can do that. We can give them a choice for those that have been languishing for months. But we should give every veteran a choice to get his care in a local community.
A couple of more on this, and then I just want to quickly hit Hillary on Benghazi here. He also said that, and I thought this was very disrespectful almost. Now, once the veterans do get seen, well, you know, yeah, I know there are people who died. He didn't say this, but you know, dead veterans. But hey, but once you do get seen, even though there's a waiting list, oh, the care is incredible. I thought that was way out of line at this point to interject that today.
Well, it's clear the president. He's been on government health care most of his life, and he had choices. He has choices as president. But again, you're telling a veteran, you got to drive hundreds of miles.
Yeah.
You got to go to one person. If it doesn't work out for you, you're out of luck. You got to go fight through bureaucracy. And I visited with some constituents that were actually sitting in a VA facility when the president did his press conference last week, and not a one there believed him.
Yeah,
they don't believe this. They know how the system works, but they catch. There's great doctors, there's great nurses, there's great providers in the system, but they have the wrong incentives.
Yeah.
It's socialized medicine.
All right, let me. Hillary Clinton leaked a memoir of her book, a chapter that talks about Benghazi. Among the things that she wrote, the 34-page chapter on Benghazi, those who exploit this tragedy over and over as a political tool minimize the sacrifice of those who served our country. That's one. I want your opinion, your reaction to that, because if that's how she's going to characterize the the select committee, how do you think that's going to fly?
Well, I'm tempted to say, what does it matter that she wrote a book?
Yeah.
What does it matter?
You got to shrug with both palms facing up when you say that, though.
Absolutely. And but again, it's the same approach. It's the same problem that gets to the heart of liberalism. Is somebody else is responsible. They want to run everything in the world. They want to run the Secretary of State. They want to run the whole administration. They want to run every healthcare system. But any problems happen, it's somebody else's fault, and we're going to fix it. And that leads to more government and more programs. But clearly, Hillary Clinton is worried about what happened in Benghazi, not because of people who died and because of those families still trying to get answers, but because of how it might affect her political career.
Right. And I want you to hear this one also. And this, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this means that we could expect her not to testify or when she gets there to clam up. I don't know. But she writes, I will not be a part of a political slugfest on the backs of dead Americans. It's just plain wrong. It's unworthy of our great country. Those who insist on politicizing this tragedy will have to do so without me. I mean, this was written before any select committee, obviously, but do you think this might indicate that she will refuse to testify and make this kind of claim?
Well, if she does, it's pretty stupid politically, but more important, it's just wrong not to tell us the answers. We don't need a select committee, Steve. We really don't. All we need are answers. Just tell us where you were, Mr. President. Tell us who made the decision to let these folks die over in Libya. Tell us the truth, and there's no need. That's the only reason is they're stonewalling the investigation, which means they're covering something up. which is the case at the VA. They're covering it up. That's why they have secret waiting lists. And at least we have a little press attention to something that's been going on nearly a decade of waiting lists and scheming the system for bonuses. Lies for bonuses, lives just to, the president wants to cover up the VA. Hillary wants to cover up the Benghazi because it might affect them politically. You know what? Let's put the heat on politically. We need the answers.
Gotcha. Hey, Congressman, thank you very much for being there. Appreciate your time also.
Okay, thanks, Steve.
Take care. Congressman Tim Muehlskamp, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. It's going to be very interesting. I thought we had heard the Clinton strategy from Bill Clinton with regard to Benghazi when he said, secretaries of state, they don't provide security. And, and Hillary, she did the right thing. They got a report now, and they're instituting the changes that were recommended. And, and by the way, there were armed guards there. 2 of those dead heroes from the U.S., they were armed, and they were part of a group of 20. So I thought that was what. But now if Hillary's writing in her book that she's not going to be a part of any of this, could she be referring to the Select Committee? We shall see. Couldn't have had anybody better to talk about both these issues than Congressman Tim Muehlskamp. And when we come back, it'll be the Malzberg panel with Peter Morici, University of Maryland professor, economist and Newsmax contributor, and columnist for Breitbart.com, American thinker, and author C. Edmund Wright. More on these 2 big issues right here on the Steve Malzberg Show on Newsmax Television.